The changes to the Ancient Gods Part 1, like removing enemies from each mission, UAC Atlantica, the Blood Swamps, and the Holt, will be reversed. In this video I don't want to talk about changing any of the demon placements or anything like that, but I did want to talk about how they could improve the DLC and make some quality of life improvements. So the first thing I want to have is Slayer Gate escalation encounters. So the Holt Slayer Gate has been changed 2 times and has had 3 different versions. The first version was pretty difficult, but it wasn't difficult enough, so id Software wanted to up the difficulty, and they did with a future update. They added archviles and possessed marauders, stuff like that. They made the encounter much more difficult, the Holt Slayer Gate. But then people were like, whoa, this is way too hard, let's tone it back a bit. And then id Software toned it back and made a, third and final change to the Holt Slayer Gate. So I think they should incorporate all 3 of these versions of the Holt Slayer Gate and basically add the escalation encounters from the Ancient Gods Part 2 into the Holt Slayer Gate. So let's say that you beat the first Holt Slayer Gate, then another Gore Nest will pop up, basically like an escalation encounter in the Ancient Gods Part 2. Then you do the second Holt Slayer Gate, and then once you complete that, another Gore Nest pops up, and then you get the hardest Holt Slayer Gate, and I think that would be really awesome. Just to have the increase in difficulty and to make the Holt Slayer Gates really challenging by having, the player have to complete all 3 versions of the Slayer Gates with the escalation encounter feature. Now, I don't think this is likely going to happen, just because the escalation encounters are a Ancient Gods Part 2 thing and not an Ancient Gods Part 1 thing, but I think just having all 3 versions of the Holt Slayer Gate would be just awesome to have. I get kind of annoyed when things get altered and you don't have the original version to go back to. It's like, Star Wars, for instance. I have no problem with the special editions of Star Wars existing, but I want the original theatrical versions as well, and that's the issue with Star Wars at the moment, is that there's no official way to buy the, a good HD copy of the theatrical cuts, and you only have the special edition. The lack of accessibility is what is really the issue, not changing the product itself. And the same thing goes with the Ancient Gods Part 1. So if they have all 3 Slayer Gates available for the Holts, that would just be my dream come true. That would be really awesome, and maybe you get like a cosmetic or something if you complete the, most difficult one. It's just because I like, having an archive of all of this stuff, and I just like having, all versions of the Slayer Gates. But anyway, the second way that they can update the Ancient Gods Part 1, and something that I can really see them doing, I see them including the Seraphim fight, the Seraphim boss fight at the end of the Holt, and making it into a standalone level. And I bring this to you because, to quote Chael Sonnen, because the Ancient Gods Part 2 has a standalone Dark Lord boss fight. And I thought that was such a good idea, just having a standalone boss, so then you don't have to complete Amora and then face the Dark Lord. It's a separate thing. I love that. I love how you can just jump into the boss straight away if you just want to play the boss, or if you just want to play Amora, you can play that too without having to fucking go and fight the Dark Lord and, spend 10 minutes trying to do that if you just want to play the level. And I feel like as we're talking about the Ancient Gods Part 1 and updating the DLC, I feel like having the Seraphim boss as a standalone level would just be awesome, so you don't have to fucking complete the Holt and then go to a boss fight arena. That just bogs down everything, man. I don't really like playing the Holt because I don't like playing the Seraphim fight. So just making it a standalone level will just be awesome. It'll just be good. Just a good quality of life update. Another update that I can see coming is the Bloodmaker, being buffed on Nightmare only, and the same thing goes with the Arachnotron. So, if you guys didn't know, the Arachnotron and Bloodmakers were sort of nerfed. If they can do it, I think they'll reverse that only on Nightmare. I think that'll strike a great balance between the hardcore sort of Ultra Nightmare runners and then the more casual fans, to, you know, put that in air quotes. But I think that'll be a great quality of life change. And these are all mainly quality of life changes. I mean, just having the Seraphim fight as a standalone level, that's a great quality of life change. You know, just something easy to put in the menu. You know, I don't think it'll be a lot of work at all. And the one update that I see not happening is the escalation encounter for the Holt Slayer Gate, even though I think that's a genius idea. I mean, Jesus Christ, I have an ego, but fucking, I think it's a good idea. But I just don't think it'll happen because the escalation encounter is more of a DLC 2 thing. But that's going to do it for me. What do you think about these Ancient Gods Part 1 updates? And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Please make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys next time.